especially to you, Mr. Dennis D. Villocora. This is me again, Angelyn Talino, all the way from the cave capital of the Philippines, Mabinay, Negros Oriental. I am 20 years old and a third-year college student at Negros Oriental State University in Mabinay, taking up a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Filipino. So my previous video presentation was the comparison of the Philippines and my chosen country, which is the South Korea. So I discussed about the teacher qualification, professional engagement, and then I also gave a sample of a faculty program and then the organizational structure. So today, in this video presentation, by the way, this is my task number 5 self-video presentation. So again, still I am going to make a comparison between the Philippines and the South Korea with the following. So first, curriculum and curriculum making in both countries. Second is curriculum process and development. And the third is course program and statement of student and prospectus. So I will just focus on education course program in the Philippines, and then I will select one. And last is planning and development with linkages and networking. So I will discuss this to you, and together we will know what and how this different system works, and hopefully you will get some ideas and learn throughout my discussion. So are you ready? Okay, let's start with the curriculum and curriculum making in the Philippines. The Philippines has a national curriculum developed by the Department of Education, or what we call the DepEd. So schools in the Philippines are divided into kindergarten, elementary, secondary, and senior high school, as also implemented in Abu Dhabi Philippine School. Compulsory core subject in both elementary and secondary schools includes the language, mathematics, science, ICT, physical education, and the arts. However, in grade 7 and grade 8, technology and livelihood education, or TLE subjects, are also introduced. Now in senior high schools, the choice of career track defines content of subjects. And technical tracks include academic, technical vocational livelihood, sports and arts, and design. The students select a specialization track based on their aptitude, interest, and school profession. Now let's go to the curriculum in South Korea. Korea has a national curriculum developed and monitored by the Ministry of Education. It is revised every 5 to 10 years. So the curriculum in South Korea, which is developed and monitored by the Ministry of Education, it is revised in every 5 to 10 years. And implementation of the 7th National Curriculum began in 2000. This curriculum seeks to develop democratic citizens who have strong moral and civic convictions. The primary curriculum consists of 9 principal subjects, which are the moral education, Korean language, social studies, mathematics, science, physical education, music, fine arts, and practical arts. English language instruction now begins in the 3rd grade, so that the children can start learning English in a relaxed atmosphere and through conversational exchange rather than through rote learning of grammatical rules, as is still the practice in many middle and high schools. The major objective, as stated in 1996 background report by the Ministry of Education, are to improve basic abilities, skills and attitudes, to develop language ability and civic morality needed to live in society, and to increase the spirit of cooperation to foster basic arithmetic skills and scientific observation skills, and to promote the understanding of healthy life and the harmonious development of body and mind. So, the 7th annual curriculum, which began implementation in March 2000, keep these basic goals but updated many elements to reflect changes in Korean society. Upon completion of primary schools, students advance to middle school, which comprises grades 7 through 9. The South Korea is following the 633 system, which is 6 years in elementary and 3 years in middle school and 3 years in high school. So there are grade 7 through 9. The curriculum consists of 12 basic or required subjects, electives, and extracurricular activities, while the elementary school instructor teach all subjects. Middle school teachers, like their colleagues in the United States, are content specialists. High schools are divided into academic and vocational schools. In 1995, some 62% of students were enrolled in academic high schools and 38% in vocational high schools. A small number attended specialized high schools concentrating in science, arts, foreign language, and other specialized fields, and this is still the case. The aims of education at the high school level are started as to foster each student personality and ability needed to preserve and strengthen the backbone of the nation, to develop students' knowledge and skills to prepare them for a jobs national in society. So to promote each student's autonomy, emotional development, and critical thinking abilities to be brought to bear in the out of school, and to improve physical strength and foster a sound mind. So that's it for the South Korea curriculum and the Philippines. So both countries has a national curriculum developed. But in the Philippines, the national curriculum developed by the Department of Education or the DepEd, while in South Korea, the national curriculum developed was monitored by the Ministry of Education. Now let's go to the second question, which is the curriculum process and development. So again, let's start with the curriculum process and development in the Philippines. So when we say curriculum development, it is defined as the process of selecting, organizing, executing, and evaluating learning experience on the basis of needs, abilities, and interests of the learners and the nature of the society or community. Curriculum development in the Philippines touch on the religion, economic, political, for mass education and for excellence in education, and social influences and events that took place in the country. So the colonial rule in the country tailored the curriculum to serve colonial goals and objectives. So the curriculum during the liberation period in 1945, steps were taken to improve the curriculum existing before the war. So what are these? These are the restoration of grade 7, abolishment of double single session, and adaptation of modern trends in education taken from United States. The curriculum during the Philippine Republic, the granting of independences to the Philippines lead to some educational reforms in the curriculum. Great experiments in the community school idea and the use of the vernacular in the first grades of the primary school as a medium of instruction. An experiment that led to a change in the Philippines' educational philosophy was that of school and community collaboration pioneered by Jose V. Aguilar. The community school concept had for its goals the improvement of pupil and community life through the curriculum. So it is a source of gratification to note that schools are increasingly using instructional materials that are Philippine-oriented. The order of priority in the purchase of books for use in our schools as follows. So first is books which are contribution in the Philippine literature. Second is book on character education and other library materials. Next is books and charts on science which will enhance the current program of the administration in science education. Next is the library equipment and permanent features, books locally published, books written by local authors, and books library materials published. The crucial role of instructional materials in promotion of nationalism is now well recognized. According to responsible education leaders, we are in a great need of instructional materials that will give emphasis of the following areas. First is the improvement of home industries. Second, the appreciation of services of great men and women of our country. And the last one is preservation of our cultural heritage. So in the elementary level, vocational education has been introduced as part of the educational program of the Bureau of Public Schools. Another step taken in the direction of increasing respectability for technical education was the establishment of vocational schools. So the use of media like television, radio, film strips, or in our film strips in our teaching helps a lot in the attainment of our instructional purposes and enrichment program. According to article number 14, section of 1935 Constitution of the Philippines, which defined the aims of education in the country, emphasize the important role that curriculum plays in transmitting the values of society to succeeding generation. The secondary curriculum was revised to make it attuned and more responsive to the field needs of our times. It is both work and value oriented, and it is single track curriculum which focuses neither on a college preparation nor on vocational skills development alone, and further aims to equip the students with the knowledge of an insight into an appreciation of ongoing community life and problems. In the collegiate level, steps are also being taken to make the curriculum respond to the needs of the times. Now, let's go to the curriculum process and development in South Korea. Over the last 2 decades, Korea has shown what can be done to improve education. It has extended class size and schooling hours to meet a surging demand for better education, and students from all socioeconomic levels do well on examination, including the sophisticated problem-solving skills on the program of International Student Assessment, or what we call the PISA. So the primary and secondary enrollment rate have been near universal since 1990, and currently 86% of young Koreans enroll in the higher education program. Primary and secondary enrollment rates have been near universal since about 1990, and currently 86% of young Koreans enroll in higher education program. there was an unprecedented increase in primary and secondary education from around 1975 to 1990, when the country also grew at a rapid rate. A commensurate growth in tertiary education took place thereafter and continues to date. This expansion can be explained by a number of convergent factors, which is the cultural and historical reasons, economic growth, value placed on education, and also the government policies that promote educational achievement. Like other high-performing nations, teaching is a highly competitive occupation. Teacher preparation programs for elementary school teachers have a limited number of places and selective entry, while new limits are set for students interested in becoming secondary school teachers. All can enter a preparation program through only 20% find employment as secondary school teachers. Selectivity for the elementary program means that there is not much competition for jobs. Elementary school, the teacher work less than 600 hours per year. However, class size ranges to form 37 to 50 students, while the local teachers association exists at the city and province level. So the Korean Federation of Teachers Association is the central representative of this association and meets annually with the Ministry of Education and Human Resources Development to discuss teacher welfare. Three teachers' unions also exist. The position of school principal has been held into a high regard until recently, with the teacher unions have begun to call into a question to select, process, and verification of the candidates' abilities. So that's it for the curriculum process and development in South Korea. Now, let's go to the next question, which is the course program and statement of students and prospectus. So in this question, I will only focus on education course program in the Philippines, and then I will select only one. Courses are intended to be taken by those wishing to further their personal development, whether you take the courses in a classroom or in online. There are a variety of specialized study areas, and earning an advanced degree like a Master of Arts may advance a stalled career or help someone move in a new new professional direction. This program vary in length, but most take 2 to 3 years to complete with part-time or full-time course schedules. So these are the course program under education curriculum in the Philippines. First is a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English curriculum. Second is Bachelor of Elementary Education curriculum. Next is Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Social Studies. Bachelor of Early Childhood Education curriculum. Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Science curriculum. Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Mathematics curriculum. And the last one is the Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Filipino curriculum. So I select one, and this is the Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Mathematics. So the Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Mathematics is a 4 years degree program in the Philippines that will prepare you in teaching the different branches of mathematics such as algebra, geometry, trigonometry, and calculus, and also the statistics in high school. As a mathematics major, you will be taking the same professional education courses presented in the Bachelor of Secondary Education overview, along with a couple of other subjects such as history of math, action research in mathematics education, mathematical investigations and modeling, and the last one is seminar on technology in mathematics. So these are the subject under the when you take a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in mathematics. So now here's the prospectus in BS Ed major in math. So that is the prospectus in Bachelor of Secondary Education major in math. Now let's go to the next and last question, which is the planning and development with linkages and networking. But before I proceed with that, I will leave these quotes first. So, we cannot live for ourselves alone. Our lives are connected by 1,000 invisible threads, and along with the sympathetic fibers, our actions run as causes to us as a result. Okay, the teaching profession linkages and networking with organization in the Philippines. The school can enjoy linkages and networking activities with international, national, and local organization in the community for mutual benefits and assistance needed. Linkages and networking are different in the degree of commitment by the partners. In linkage, the relationship between partner organization is quite lost, while in the networking, it is much stronger, usually because the groups and agencies have common objectives and beneficiaries. Networking is basically extending the outreach of resources in different ways so as to increase the effectiveness of the program. Linkages intends to serve members of both sides according to their respective needs, interests, and objectives, create bands together to solicit support and assistance for purposeful activities. Now, following are some working linkages between schools nationwide and association or the center with local offers manned by a complete set of official and active members. So first is the international linkages. Under the international linkages are the Phi Lambda Theta. So when we say Phi Lambda Theta, is an international honor society and professional association of women educators. Based in its main office in Michigan, chapters are located in different universities nationwide. The only chapter outside the United States is the Philippine R chapter. Next is the NNOTECH or the NOTEC. Is the Center for Training Education Leaders from the Southeast Asian region under the CMEO organization. World Council for Curriculum and Instruction or WCCI. Next is Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, is a membership organization that develops programs, products, and services essential to the way educators learn, teach, and live. Founded in 1943, ASCD is an educational leadership organization dedicated to advancing best practices and policies for the success of each learner. And now the national and local. Linkages could be established between universities and colleges offering identical degrees. Gross enrollment for subjects needed to graduation is allowed, and joint research could be conducted by 2 or 3 universities depending on their activities, respective expertise, and then the dissemination of findings to other universities in the area is held. And then the networking. The networking with profession organization A network, when we say a network, it is a grid or wave whose members actively demonstrate how they can work together to attain common objectives, undertake innovative practices, and update members regarding breakthrough in different disciplines. Such network composed of several institutions are also termed as consortium, wherein several colleges of different universities bind themselves for a common goal. Under the networking, first is the consortium among universities and colleges. And under of this consortium are the TOP consortium and the Mindula consortium. The second one under the networking is the consortium with subjects specialized. And these are the BioTop. It's an organization of biology teachers from universities worldwide. Next is the MAP-Ed. It's the Council of Mathematics Teachers and Educators. It is the shortcut term of mathematics education. It is a major project is to upgrade the competence of mathematics teachers through national conferences, workshops, and training sessions conducted nationwide. Next is the national organization. The FAAP, or the Federation of Accrediting Association of the Philippines, is a group of agencies whose main function is to conduct accreditation of educational qualification and facilities starting from the administration, curriculum, faculty profile, and the learning environment, among others. The Philippine Association of College and Universities Commission on Accreditation, or the PACOCUA, Philippine Accrediting Agency for Schools, Colleges, and Universities, and the networking with foundations. Philippine Accrediting Agency for Schools, College, and Universities. Now for the networking with foundations. Under of these are the first is the Educational Research and Development Assistance, or the ERDA Foundation Incorporation, Metrobank Foundation Incorporation, Network of Outstanding Teachers and Educators, or the NOTED, Ayala Foundation Incorporation, JMA Foundation, SM Foundation Incorporation, Foundation for Upgrading Standards in Education, or FUSE. Next is Philippine Foundation for Science and Technology, Books for Barrio and Asia Foundation donate books and other printed materials to public and private elementary and secondary schools. Batubalani Foundation's honors teachers through Tribute to Teachers program. And then the last one is the Philippine Business for Education, or the PBED. Now let's move on to South Korea planning and development linkages and networking. So the Korean government, in creating university industry linkages and in promoting the role of universities as knowledge providers in regional innovation system. We investigate the different types of universities rules in the capital region of Seoul and in the non-capital regions. We argue that government policy is the main determinant that drives Korean university to play the role of knowledge provider for industrial innovation. This policy has also brought about regional differences in the way universities participate in innovation activities in the capital region and outside the capital region. So in the Korean context, universities in non-capital region act as a backbone for creating and managing regional innovation network, as well as a close and easily accessible knowledge provider to a industry. However, universities universities in Capital Region play the role of the close knowledge provider only to local industry, while corporate research and development centers are the key players in developing and managing innovation network in the Capital Region. So as a professional teacher, you are able to give a better service to your students and to other education stakeholders in the community if you are connected to a network of possible sources of educational assistance. So that's it for today's video presentation.